So the first one is I was watching an Arnold movie when I was young with my dad.
Oh, okay.
Told me, okay, this is Arnold, he's a bodybuilder. So I was 6 or 7 years old. I think the movie was either Predator or Commando. So when I was watching that, I was like, okay, when I become an adult, I'm also going to be a bodybuilder. So that was the first thing. Yeah. So the second thing, right, was that when I was a teenager, I was 13, secondary school, right, I was very skinny and short, and I was being bullied in school all the time. Like almost every day getting beaten up, and I was so skinny and weak. When I was closer to 15, I decided that, no, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to be enable myself to defend myself. So I started lifting weights and training, and that's where my bodybuilding journey ultimately began.
What's up? What's up? And what's up? And welcome to the KopiBros podcast presented to you by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, today you guys are in for a treat. Today we actually interviewed someone that is professional, competitive bodybuilder, a coach, personal trainer, and he's also Singapore proud wrestler. And he is our very own Danie Dharma, otherwise known as Destroyer Dharma. So,
Destroyer Dharma.
Jing Yong, what was some of your takeaways from this interview?
I think he has a very interesting career. Like, he's both a bodybuilder, competitive bodybuilder, and actually the current Mr. Singapore. We are recording this on 27 October, right? He just got it like 3-4 days ago only. I think besides that, he also spoke about his career as a wrestler. And then he said that, for example, like training for wrestling is like more of a mental block. I think that's very, very interesting. I never saw it from that perspective. Like you're trying to do dangerous stunts that your body is telling you not to do.
What blows me away, right, is that he's 39 years old. Being a professional bodybuilder, it already takes up so much like effort and preparation. Like when he breaks down the preparation, right, it just really sounds like impossible to do. It was really, really interesting interview to learn so much and his journey as well.
Okay, before we get into our episode, a word from our sponsors. Once again, we would like to thank SGWatchHub for sponsoring this episode. SGWatchHub is Singapore's one-stop platform for all things watches. Whether you are buying, selling, or just crazy about timepieces, SGWatchHub connects you to sellers, retailers, and fellow collectors so you can find that perfect piece for your wrist. They've got you covered with a full range of services from repairs and polishing to strap replacements, protective firms, watch winders, and even authentication to make sure your watch is 100% the real deal.
On top of that, SGWatchHub offers brand partner promo codes so you can score special discounts on watches from different brands. And speaking of partners, they also work with amazing companies like Nomad Watchworks, a homegrown brand known for their premium straps and accessories. One of their biggest perks is that every leather strap you purchase from Nomad comes with free lifetime cleaning, so your watch doesn't just look stylish, it stays cat for too. Stay tuned on both the Chit podcast and SGWatchHub Instagram pages because we'll be running a special giveaway sponsored by SGWatchHub and Nomad Watchworks very soon. Trust us, you don't want to miss it.
So, if you love watches as much as we do, head over to sgwatchhub.sg and join the community. SGWatchHub, bring the world of watches to your fingertips. And now, back to the episode.
Welcome to the KopiBros podcast presented to you by the Chit Podcast Network. Now, today, you guys are in for a treat because our guest is a Singapore-based competitive bodybuilder, coach, and personal trainer who began his fitness journey all the way at 14. Since starting to compete in 2004, he has actually earned multiple titles, including Mr. Singapore 2016, Asia Classic Physique Champion 2017, and World Regional Classic Physique B Champion 2018. He's also known for his professional wrestling career with Singapore Pro Wrestling since 2016, where he wrestles under the name Destroyer Dharma and has won several championships. Beyond competition, he dedicates his career to helping others transform their bodies and mindsets through disciplined training and informed nutrition. To learn more about his experience, please join me in welcoming champion bodybuilder Danie Dharma. Welcome, Danie. Good. Yeah, so I just wanted to see what have you been busy with preparing for your next competition?
I was busy preparing for my competitions, but now I'm just going to shut it down.
Because before we started recording, you actually just shared that you just finished a competition, right?
Yesterday.
Because I know you were sharing that after the bodybuilding competition, right, you still managed to go out at night. But usually I will see some, I don't know, is it as realistic in videos where before a bodybuilding competition, they don't drink water, they like literally maybe one day don't eat, or do you have to do that as well?
Okay, it's part of a bigger process. it's not like you just don't drink water. It's like it's part of a peaking process. Okay, when you compete in bodybuilding, right, you wanna have a dehydrated, dry look. The only one small part of it is when you don't drink. It's not you don't drink water, but you restrict your water intake to like 500 ml to 1 liter per day. There's a
Oh, okay,
process
that's
leading
okay.
up to it. It means like
Mm-mm.
for 2 weeks, right, I actually do this thing called sodium loading and fluid loading. If I increase my sodium intake by 5,000 mg, and then I also drink more water and fluids in total to like 6 liters a day, all the way till the 3 days before the contest, then I cut it out. So
Wow.
that's
Oh, wow.
how the whole process is like.
Okay, that sounds like much more achievable steps. Like, as in, like,
Yeah.
at least it makes sense. There's a process, not like suddenly out of nowhere you just don't drink water and stuff. Because honestly, sometimes they do show that on like TV shows,
Yeah,
on videos, like
TV,
people.
If you guys know, right, I'm a sports science graduate. So my approach to personal training, bodybuilding, etc. is all very science based. So this is part of that as well. So like the reason I do that, right, for 2 weeks, I make my body very used to throwing out 5,000 mg of extra sodium daily. So I'm like changing the homeostasis of my body. That's why I increase my sodium intake by 5,000. At the 2 weeks mark, right, it's usually about 3 days before the show day. So I will suddenly reduce my sodium intake, and then I'll reduce my fluid intake to 500 ml. So when I do that, my body wouldn't realize immediately that I no longer have so much sodium coming in. So because of that, I will become dehydrated and I'll have that dry, veiny look. On the last 2 days, right, you're also doing a carb loading process because there's another part of this that it's called a depletion phase where you go on a zero carb diet for a few days and then you do like very high rep training until you use up all the glycogen in your muscles. You've got to time it right so that when you are competing on stage, that's when you look your biggest, driest, fullest.
Not just calories, and now it's like calculated sodium already.
But I mean, of course, because this is competitive, right? We're doing it for a very specific reason. I don't like to do nutrition plans based on calories. I prefer doing them based on macros because, right, if you really look at it, asking someone about calories, right, is like asking how many coins are there in your wallet. So that's an invalid quantification because your coin could be 10 cents, it could be $1. Yeah, so calories is just the total number of all the protein, carb, and fats combined.
We normally start our interview by asking our guests about their growing up story. So can we invite you to share about your growing up story and how you ended up in bodybuilding?
There are two points in my life which led to me becoming a bodybuilder. So the first one is I was watching an Arnold movie when I was young with my dad.
Oh, okay.
Told me, okay, this is Arnold, he's a bodybuilder. So I was 6 or 7 years old. I think the movie was either Predator or Commando. So when I was watching that, I was like, okay, when I become an adult, I'm also going to be a bodybuilder. So that was the first thing. Yeah. So the second thing, right, was that when I was a teenager, I was 13, secondary school, right, I was very skinny and short, and I was being bullied in school all the time. Like almost every day getting beaten up, and I was so skinny and weak. When I was closer to 15, I decided that no, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to be enable myself to defend myself. So I started lifting weights and training, and that's where my bodybuilding journey ultimately began. That movie when I watched at 6 years old came full circle.
Wow,
I see.
yeah, like wow, it's like crazy how you reach there.
Yeah, I think looking at you now, when you even have muscles on your head, right, I find it very hard to imagine you skinny.
Like those very typical Indian body type, ectomorph, pure ectomorph body type.
My next question is because some people might get bullied, I understand, but they will turn to like exercise and keeping a lean body instead of like doing like bodybuilding, like really bulk out kind. So why do you choose to like bulk out? Is it really because of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I mean, there was always that at the back of my mind. But see, my bullies were all like one head taller than me. They were heavier.
Wow,
Some of them are obese. So they beat me up, and I had no ability to defend myself. Like there was like once or twice I tried to fight back. The first time, right, this guy constantly kept pushing me down during a football game. So he's like one head taller than me and he's fat. So when he pushed me down, I tumbled. So like he did that like 4 or 5 times. Then I told myself, okay, one more time he does it, I'm going to just run towards him and punch him. So he did it. I got up, I was furious. I ran towards him at my full speed and I threw the hardest punch possible. My punch landed on his face, but nothing happened. Absolutely nothing.
Oh no.
So after that, he chased me and beat me up. And then he stopped pushing me after that because I defended myself, right? So that's something that bullies generally get turned off by. But at that point, I was thinking to myself, like, hey, I need to get stronger if I want to have any chance to defend myself. 2 days later, the same bully out to me again. So I just entered my classroom. He grabbed my collar, then he like strove me around. So I grabbed his shirt and I tried to shove him and he didn't even move. And then everyone laughed at me. So that was like the beginning of this whole thing where I said, okay, I'm going to build muscles. I'm going to become the strongest guy in this neighborhood. Yeah, so that's how that part of this journey began.
Because I also did some research and you actually started participating in bodybuilding competitions when you were in uni, like the NUS Muscle War or Muscle Explosion. And then you said just now that you were in the Navy once. So like I wanted to know like what happened between uni to Navy to like you're like a personal trainer and a bodybuilder.
Okay, so I was never in university. I was in IT. It's just that back then the bodybuilding competition that was held for the tertiary level back in that time period was NUS was the one that fronted that event. So it was known as NUS Muscle War. Yeah, I was a Navy regular for 10 years. After I left IT, I was in the Navy. Yeah, so at that point, right, I hadn't even done my diploma yet. My diploma in sports science was like something I did later on. I studied part-time while I was in Navy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so at that point, I was a regular for 10 years.
Yeah, actually, in the Navy for 10 years means that you have to be at a certain age. I couldn't even tell. Won't be able to tell, honestly.
I'm currently 39 years old. Next year is my big 40 already.
Oh my God.
Boy, you look younger than me, sia. I look like I'm going to go 40.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your age looks like you're salt. Yeah. I will say that is really looks more likely.
Just the looks, your energy, right? Like you come in the room, like, wow, so much like positivity. I feel that I have to drag myself to work today, you know.
Are there any like different exercises or preparation, or things that you train differently when you are starting to prepare for your bodybuilding competition?
Okay, firstly, I don't train conventionally like a bodybuilder. So most bodybuilders, what they do, they go to the gym 3-4 times a week and that's it. And a lot of them like to do like cable exercises, machines. So for me, I believe that fitness has to be holistic. So when I go to the gym, I do a lot of free weight compound movements. I'm the guy doing the heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, bench presses. And then I also incorporate like mid-distance running. Like I try to do like 5 km. And I also do track and field. So I do like sprint drills. And I mean, also part of these things they directly help with my wrestling as well. Because, you know, like in wrestling, you will be like running, sprinting, jumping over someone, slamming them, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, you want to have that kind of fitness, agility, mobility, stamina. So I work on these things, not just lifting weights.
Usually the stigma is that if you're doing bodybuilding, you don't usually run. Yeah, but I realize as well that's why as a wrestler you have to have that at least some form of agility to at least compete or like to at least move around.
I am a guy who does cardio even if I'm not competing. Like I try to do an hour at least in the morning fasted. It's just more for fat loss and just keeping the heart healthy. But then at other times of the day, I do like those high intensity. Like one of my favorites for high intensity is sprinting because I feel it's functional. It translates directly to a day-to-day. You know, like let's say versus like you're doing better ropes, but when you do better ropes, what activity in your day-to-day life causes you to do that? Whereas a sprint translates directly to, let's say you're being chased by a wild dog. Then a sprint translates directly to running away to save your life, right? So I think of it in the sense.
Your meals when you're not competing, how does it usually look like?
Most bodybuilders, right? Off season, they are like maybe 20, 25 kg heavier than their contest weight. For me, I'm usually about 10 kg heavier only. So I stay pretty lean even when I'm not competing. So yes, I do count my macros in a sense that I need to make sure my protein intake is high enough every day so that I can recover from my training. Because I normally train more than once a day. I usually have a bout of cardio and a bout of weights. Yeah. So as for my carbs, right? My metabolic rate is actually a lot higher than a normal person. I can burn through 4,000.
Wow, that's insane.
And this is not even amazing because if you think about it, right? You look at let's say someone like Michael Phelps. His training volume is 8 hours a day. He burns through 12,000 calories, almost 10 times a normal person.
Oh wow,
I'm only 4,000. With 4 hours training volume a day. You know Michael Phelps, he needs to like eat ice cream and junk food in the middle of the day just to break even.
Yeah.
So sometimes I need to go through that sometimes. I need to eat like a junk meal or something just so that I don't burn out. I do this thing called carb cycling. So I have like high carb days, low carb days, medium carb days, and I switch between them. The reason for that, right, is when your carb intake changes all the time, your body is not going to be able to find a state of normalcy. The word is called homeostasis. Homeostasis means it's like a state of normalcy that your body is used to. Like let's say for example, normally your body is at a particular temperature. So when something hot touches you, that affects your homeostasis. So your body will move away, you will get shocked. So if your carb intake is the same all throughout, your body will adapt to that and try its best not to burn fat. So if you change your carb intake every day, your body can't find homeostasis. So he'll be more responsive to a fat burning program. So diet-wise, So diet-wise, I change my carbs daily. My protein and fat intake remain quite stable. Your protein intake is to be according to your lean body weight. That means your lean body weight in pounds. Let's say you're 100 pounds, then 100 grams of protein per day. Fat intake, I keep it between 40 to 80 grams a day. That's about it. Yeah, so the changes in my training-wise during my contest prep, I spent a lot of time doing steady-state cardio for long durations. That means like 1 hour on the stationary bike or cross trainer, something like that. I cut out my sprints and my runs during my contest prep because you will get injured easily when you're on a calorie deficit, right? When your food volume goes down. So, to not get injured at the wrong time, I stick to machine kind of cardio. But in the off season, I will do all the crazy stuff, sprints, long distance running. For the weights wise, it's kind of consistent all the way. When you're prepping for a show, the heavy training is necessary to preserve your muscle mass.
I just wonder, right? Like doing all this, right? How do you stay on track when you have to? I believe like there are confirmed social events that you have to attend, like for example weddings, birthday parties, like your friend's birthday, like recently you just attended.
Yeah.
Then how do you like keep to your diet, or must you do when you go for the birthday party, like you cannot indulge? Is there anything that you have to control yourself in these social events?
So if let's say I'm prepping for a show and I'm still far out from the show, like I start my prep early, maybe 12 weeks ahead. So if I'm still far out from the show, I can still do that. I can still attend a party, have a cheat, maybe like a couple of cheat meals, and then I'll just adjust my other meals to fit that in. It's only like maybe the last 4 weeks before the contest where it gets ultra strict.
So let's say it's within the 4 weeks to the competition, right? Will you still attend the event, or usually you try to avoid?
Oh no, I can attend. Then I'll just bring my own food with me. I'll explain to them like, hey guys, look, I'm preparing for this show, but I'm here, I'm present. Just let me get my own food. Normally people are very
I believe that. Oh, that's very respectable though, because like it sometimes takes a lot to like everybody enjoying eating like crazy amount of or drinking.
Like
you have to like take your own prep meal. But I believe that's the commitment and the discipline to the competition that you are going to participate, or like the show that you're going to do, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly I find my meal prep quite tasty as well. I don't know, maybe I've just gotten used to it. Like even now my competition is over, but I'm probably going to eat my own meal prep like at least twice a day. I don't know, I think maybe I've not been that person who like I have to eat these kind of things. I'm just wired that I'm just wired to approach my meals for its function rather than taste. So like both works for me. Of course, I need my cheat meals too. I also get cravings from time to time. So
I want to know, right? Since you say until your meal prep like very delicious, right? What does what does your normal meal prep look like? Like is there salmon, or like what vegetable, or like what meat is there, or what protein is there inside?
Okay, normally like it's brown rice, chicken breast, and broccoli. That's it.
Wow.
That's damn clean.
And it's not that I eat that on like, because I find that I prepare that it's more convenient to prepare. So I normally make like 14 boxes of brown rice. I just throw it into the freezer, and I buy like the instant chicken breast. I just put it in the brown rice. So when I need to consume, I just put it in the microwave. 4 minutes I can eat ready. So that's how I'm prepared in advance for my meal prep. And my broccoli, right, I just cut it up. I just spray a little bit of olive oil. I throw it in the air fryer for 8 minutes. That's it. Then I'll freeze it as well. So I will like package all the boxes according to the macros. That means I count and I make sure there's about 40 gram carbs, 40 gram protein, or according to that week's requirements. Then so it's all boxed up. When I need it, I take it out microwave. That's it.
Like to me, like this is unthinkable that like you eat the same meal like for 1 week, because I look forward to every meal. Like it's my motivation in life. Like that. Like I wake up in the morning like, wow, breakfast so exciting. Wow, lunch coming so exciting. Yeah. So what you're doing like wow, deep respect. Like you're the first person that say that. Oh, I actually enjoy my meal prep. I'm like, who enjoys meal prep? I mean, most people do it because they want to look good, or there's a final goal there, so they put out with it. Oh, you're the first person that say, actually, my meal prep quite nice. I don't mind eating meal prep, even though it's not needed or it's off season.
Maybe it's an acquired taste, some of Indian, my people eat like all the most flavored stuff, curry, all that.
Yeah, the spices
like an acquired taste, like brown rice. When you first start to eat it, you might feel like, hey, it tastes a bit grainy, but at some point you are just so used to that being your lunch. So when it's lunchtime,
Yeah.
you'll be like, okay, brown rice. You know, like it just becomes second nature. Just it's a habit. It's not even discipline, just habit.
But I want to
Uh,
ask about like your bodybuilding career as a whole. Like, what do you think was the biggest highlight? Was it winning the Mr. Singapore or the Asian Championship Classic Physique?
Actually, I won gold medal for Singapore like 10 times before. The Asian
Oh.
Championship was my first one. Of course, being Mr. Singapore is also one of the proudest ones because, like, you know, you're the best in your whole country. Yeah, my first Asian Championship, right? That one it was a long time dream. I always wanted to win a gold medal and then raise the Singapore flag. You know, like every
Yeah.
athlete would want to do that at some point. So when it finally happened, right, it was a very competitive category because that particular Asian Championship, right? If you won, you will get 4K USD.
Oh wow.
So wow. Yeah, so I'm standing there and then there's 10 guys, the top 10 guys are there, but they're only giving out 5 platings, right? So they call the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd already. So I'm one of the people standing there and they all look good. One of them could have been the winner as well. So when they announced my name, I was like, wow, I actually did it finally. So I walked to the middle and when they passed me the Singapore flag, right, I just put it on and wow, I blanked out for a split second. I was like, oh my God, this moment is finally here. Yeah, so, but I won bigger titles than that after, like, I would say the year 2024, I actually went to JB to compete and I won 2 gold medals there. It's called the NPC championship, which is like, you must go to NPC, then you can go for a pro qualifier. So the 2 categories I won had like people from Iran and all that, very, very competitive. So when I won that one, I was like, wow, I actually won it. I won this group of guys. They were all so good.
So besides the proud moment, right, what I'm interested in is the part after that. Because I've seen a lot of athletes, right, after the competition, right, they actually, number one, very excited to drink water. Number two, they're very excited to like, where are we going to eat next? So what is your favorite place to go eat next? Or what is your favorite thing to drink right after your competition?
Okay, one of the things I love to drink after competition, because, you know, I was telling earlier, right, I control my water intake for 3 days.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're like so dehydrated. So one place I like to go is McDonald's because on top of eating all those burgers and stuff, right, I just keep drinking Sprite because I'm also actually trying to hydrate myself again. So I mean, a cold Sprite when you're dehydrated, it's like a very good combination.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I can't imagine.
I can't
It just
imagine.
sounds so refreshing. Like when you
Yeah.
when you're completely dehydrated, it's like the Sprite.
If not, there's another one like the Indian food, like mee goreng.
Oh wow.
Mee goreng is the other go-to. So depending on where is the venue and where we end up going, when you're eating clean for like 16 weeks, 14 weeks, 12 weeks, your body will start to reject junk food. So like when you start eating something normal, your stomach will just bloat. You'll feel uneasy. Like in the more recent years, I've experienced that. It comes to a point where sometimes like having junk meals after the contest, even borderline a turn off. I'm like, okay, maybe I should just eat like something normal and then eat a bit of my meal prep.
So your body's so used to like the meal prep and clean food, right? I feel like if it's too oily, it really will seem like there's a chance maybe you like
stomach upset.
Stomach upset. Very easy.
Maybe also my age lah. Maybe when I was younger, I never experienced this. Now I'm like late 30s, going to be 40, right?
Which I still can't believe. Yeah.
Because I also seen in your Instagram post that you said that you're a sponsored athlete. So I'm trying to ask, right, like to take part in these competitions, is it that you must get sponsorship or like some people have to pay to participate in these competitions?
No, okay. As a sponsored athlete, right, it's just like a partnership between me and the supplement company. So they give me like a couple of supplements every month and I promote their products lah. I sell it to my followers, like, okay, like let's say there's a particular brand that's tasty or good, so I just put it on my Instagram. I say, okay, guys, try this is good. Yeah, so it's not like in other countries where like wow, they pay the athlete like 4,000-5,000, right? Like, there's like a lot of endorsements. It's not like that. Singapore's market is just too small.
We would like to take a quick break to thank our friends at HDBK Official for sponsoring this episode of the Chit Chatter podcast. If you've ever run a small business or tried selling online, you'll know how tough it can be. High platform fees, hidden charges, and algorithms that bury your listings. That's exactly what HDBK Official is changing.
HDBK Official is a community marketplace made for local brands and creators here in Singapore. Instead of taking huge commissions, their fees are only 2 to 5% with no hidden fees or transaction costs.
You don't even need your own website. HDBK Official helps you reach new customers, grow your brand, and actually keep more of what you earn. It's not about competing with big platforms. It's about building a fair, supportive space where local businesses can really thrive.
To learn more about the platform or to list your own brand, check out hdbkofficial.com. Thanks again to HDBK Official for supporting the show and for supporting local creators. Besides Brandon just now say right about not drinking water, what are some of the other preparations that you have to do before you get on stage? Because I've seen, like, for example, they have to oil themselves.
You must show up with as little body fat as possible. So in order to get down to 5%, it takes time. I have done it before in as little as 6 weeks. But typically it's going to take like 16 weeks. So we're talking about like cardio 1 hour a day. But for me, I do 2 or 3 hours. I just love to train. I love to do cardio. That's to bring your body fat down. Then there's the dehydration phase. Other than that, it's just one layer of spray tan and shine. That's just for visual. Like say Olympic wrestling, then you got to wear wrestling gear, right? Because it's required for the purpose of that sport. So likewise, you need the spray tan to have a bit of a shine on your body so that people can see your physique properly.
The definitions lah. Yeah.
I see.
Oh, that makes sense.
What are some of the funny stories that you can share with us from your bodybuilding competition experiences?
Okay lah. Basically, right, one of the things that can happen, right, is your muscles cramp up after bodybuilding shows. Yeah, because we cut sodium out, right? So part of looking so red and dry is because the sodium in your body is so low.
Wow.
So there was this one particular competition, like we took a taxi back home. And once we got out of the taxi, I just cramped up. So I just lied on the floor and then just trying to get my muscles to get back to normal. I was like just lying down there for a few minutes. And when people see that, right, they think something is very seriously wrong. In fact, right, I'll say there was also a funny story yesterday. So after my contest, my best friend brought me to eat something lah. We're sitting down and all of a sudden my hamstring cramp. So I was like, it's my spoon. Then I put my foot up. Then the table adjacent to me, right, there's like this uncle there. So he's like, he just turned and he's like just looking at me. He's like, then I was like, okay, I'm suffering here. Then he's looking there. I just like, hi. Then he also like, hi. Then after that he say hi already, right? He just continued like. Then I was like, oh my god. I'm suffering and then this Mr. Bean character.
Watching a show. Watching you cramp like, as if it's a show. Right? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So now we want to dive more into the next point, which is you are also a professional wrestler. Could you share more about your career as a wrestler, and is it wrestling in the form of an Olympic sport or wrestling more like WWE kind of entertainment?
This is more like WWE kind of wrestling lah.
Hey, fun.
Nice.
A lot of people think that the ring is soft like a trampoline, but honestly, the ring can be pretty hard. If you land on your ankle or your neck, you will break it.
Wow.
Because the ring is actually made out of steel beams and one layer of styrofoam and then the canvas. So it's actually pretty hard. The first time I learned how to take a slam, right, it hurt me for 3 weeks.
Wow.
So, taking falls in wrestling is something that your body needs to get conditioned to. Wrestling increases your pain threshold. So actually, if you get trained properly, right, you'll be able to do a landing on the hard ground. So I actually do sometimes I take moves on the floor. So that's the other end of the spectrum.
What made you decide to go into wrestling?
Okay, so I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid. And it has always intrigued me. And then when I got to know that it's a choreographed show, I loved it even more. So like, especially during the days when I get bullied and stuff, right? I watch wrestling, it's like, wow, I wish I was like one of these guys. I'll do that to my bully, like...
Yeah. Like, rock bottom the shit out of this bully.
So when I left the Navy, right, after my 10 years in 2016, I wanted to take up another sport because I was a bit free. I hadn't looked for another job yet. I was like full-time training for trying to win my first Mr. Singapore title that year. So I had some savings. So I thought, okay, I'll just train. And I was thinking, okay, should I try boxing or MMA? Then I came across Singapore Pro Wrestling. I was like, hey, why not I try this? It's something I've been always watching. Why not just go and learn some basics? So I joined, but they actually kind of... and I was training like 4 times a week. So I was going to gym for bodybuilding and then I'm going there at night. I think they kind of liked what I had to offer. Like, they didn't have a physique like mine in Singapore Pro Wrestling. So like within like 4 months, I went out for my first match already.
Yeah, that actually leads me to the next point. Next question is that what is the wrestling scene like in Singapore?
Okay, so our wrestling fans in Singapore, right? They are crazy about our product. So like all our shows usually sold out one. We sell out like
Wow.
300-400 persons.
Oh
There
wow!
was once we sold out a 700 audience. We do have a scene here. It's just that like it's a very localized. Not I wouldn't say localized, internalized. Like the people who like wrestling, the people who love wrestling love it, and they keep coming back. The people who don't get it, they just don't get it. But sometimes I don't get it. You know, these people will come and like, oh, why watching wrestling is fake? So like
Yeah.
like
That's so
why do you go to someone else's space and tell them that their thing is no good? Like imagine I go to this person, it's like, why are you smoking? You're going to die faster. Like, why would you want to do that?
yeah. And especially, although you're watching a choreographed show, it's the same thing as like why you go watch a play or at MBS, pay so much
Yeah.
money. It's fake, you know.
Yeah.
It's all fake stories. It doesn't make sense.
Actually, I'll say it's more to it. It's more like watching an Avengers movie live. Okay,
Yeah.
because right, in an Avengers movie, right, the fight scenes, the stunts are all CGI. There are stunt doubles, there are retakes.
Yeah.
But in pro
Yeah.
wrestling, the stunts are real. There's no retake. There's no stunt double.
Yeah. You're watching it live. Wow.
Yeah.
So when you watch the Avengers, right, you don't sit down there and think like, oh no, that's not Captain America, that's Chris Evans, they're lying to us. You don't think that way. You just watch it. You suspend your disbelief and you watch the show, you enjoy the story. Even the fight scene, you don't think, this one fake, so CGI. You watch it, you're like, wow, what a punch, you know? So
Yeah.
I think it's the same. You suspend your disbeliefs, you enjoy the show as it's presented to you. Then that's how you truly enjoy a wrestling show.
Because you did both wrestling as well as bodybuilding. Is the training and preparation for them like similar, or like is it very different that you have to separate them completely?
They're two completely different things. I mean, bodybuilding is you lift weights, you get stronger. You train your body in a very specific way to attain a specific role. Wrestling is more like running, jumping, sprinting. I would say wrestling training has a lot of mental block. Because let's say you want to do a somersault for the first time, your body's central nervous system, CNS, is not going to let you do it because your CNS is going to think you're going to injure yourself. So that's what you call a mental block. So in wrestling, you learn how to overcome mental blocks, like how to do something dangerous, teach your body how to do something dangerous. Once you do it, get it right that first time, the mental block's gone. You'll be able to do it again and again. So just think about things like jumping over the top rope to the outside of the ring. That's very scary. But once you do it the first time, you will know how to do it already.
Your nickname for your wrestling career. How do you come about? Like how do you decide on the nickname, the Destroyer?
Okay, it was actually my idea. So I was saying I was training for 4 months. Then they wanted me to do my first match. So at that point of time, I didn't have a gimmick. So I was thinking, okay, what do I call myself? Okay, I'm like this most muscular guy in the wrestling scene. So muscular guy, okay, big, strong. Why not? I'll just use something to do it, destroy. So I thought, okay, why not? I'll call myself Destroyer Dharma or Dharma the Destroyer. Then they say, hey, Destroyer Dharma sounds good. That's catchy. Let's do it. Okay. I went with it.
So are you still in the wrestling scene, or when is your next show for wrestling?
Oh, yes, I am. I was supposed to wrestle actually like 2 or 3 days ago. But I actually injured my right shoulder just 2 weeks before Mr. Singapore, right? I was in the gym training, I injured my right shoulder. But somehow I still managed to win the Mr. Singapore title this year.
Wow.
Okay,
then we should introduce you as the latest edition Mr. Singapore.
The reigning
current
champion.
Then my last question, right, is that I saw your Instagram post about you helping people to transform lives in terms of like helping them plan their transform their bodies and their mindset, through discipline training and informed nutrition. I would like to ask you about your because different trainers have different like principles or things that they want to pitch. So what is the like core principle that you normally do for your clients?
You might not believe what I'm about to say, okay? A lot of trainers out there in Singapore, especially, right? They shouldn't be calling themselves personal trainers because all they have is a 2-week course certification. What can you learn in 2 weeks? So to me, it's about arming yourself with like a big amount of knowledge on many aspects of fitness. So I'm a sports science graduate, diploma in sports science. The amount of things I learn, stuff like physiology, biomechanics, nutrition, those are very, very relevant, especially when you're training older clients. Then, they have like physical problems, physiological problems. So there's that, and I'm also actually trained in like the physio side. Like I attended courses like trigger point release and all that. So I actually incorporate all of these things into my personal training. It's not just going in and doing exercises, but counterbalance training, imbalance correction, posture correction, getting rid of long-term pain. To me, I believe that's really what personal training is, and also especially nutrition.
You actually help people with like special needs, like elderly people with heart issues, diabetes, all this, and you have actually helped some of them actually totally like cut their medication, right? They can stop taking the diabetic medication. Some of them can walk better, after your help and all this. So I think not a lot of personal trainers can say that. So I would like to ask you to share more about like how do you help these people like get off their diabetic medication or help them like walk again?
Let's start with the diabetic medication first lah. So you see that is not a prescription that's not a decision that I make. That means like what I do is I teach them how to change their diet, I teach them how to calculate, I teach them what to eat and stuff like that. Then when their blood sugar gets under control, their doctors are the ones who tell them like, hey, you don't need this anymore.
Oh, okay.
Then some of them, right, they actually no longer have fatty liver. Because basically, it's a very straightforward problem. You have fatty liver because your fat consumption has been too high for too long. So fat accumulates in your liver because your liver has to break down fat before your body can process it further. So if you consume so much fat to the point where it's beyond your liver's capacity, it's just going to remain there. So basically, that's what fatty liver is. So you get your nutrition adjusted, you do the calculations, right? Your fatty liver can also go up. Things like some people, right? They say that you eat eggs, your cholesterol goes up. That's not true also. Consuming cholesterol does not increase cholesterol. Consuming saturated fat is the thing that increases cholesterol. Because our cholesterol is produced by your own body, not your food. This comes down to understanding these things and prescribing the correct thing to the correct person. So as for people who are having problems walking, it's about understanding anatomy and biomechanics. So you look at the way they are limping, like which angle is their feet going wrongly. Then you will understand which muscle is not working correctly or which muscle is locked up. Then you work on it from there. So if the muscle is locked up, you do mobility training. Like there'll be like elements of stretching, maybe some trigger point release, which I can manually do for them. And then if something is imbalanced, then I will get them to train that very specific muscle. Because like a lot of people look at muscles very superficially. They are like, okay, biceps, triceps, but there are so many muscles underneath. There are so many other muscles. You need to look at the person, the way they move, how their joints are moving involuntarily to figure out what's not working. Then you fix them that way.
I think a lot of times when we hear about personal trainer and when we hear about like trying to better our life, it's always about weight loss, about looking good, this kind of thing. But I think your story is one of the rare few that I hear that, wow, you really help like seniors, help them walk again, help them get off their medication and improve their diet, all these things. We can end off the interview with a round of quick-fire questions. I think Brandon will lead that section. Yeah.
The favorite song to use during competition?
Gravity.
Gravity, nice. Favorite pose?
Most muscular.
First thing you want to consume after your competition concludes?
Chocolate.
If you weren't bodybuilding, what sport would you do?
Boxing.
Ooh.
What's your hidden talent outside of fitness?
I can draw.
Oh, wow. Weirdest comment a judge has given you during a competition?
I was penalized because I was sweating.
Huh?
That's crazy. That's
What
crazy.
the?
Oh, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. The final question. Who is your favorite wrestler?
Batista.
Wow. Baptista. No, so now I think we have actually learned a lot from you today, be it comes to nutrition or your journey. And of course, you are a very busy person. But just to close off the episode, can you let our audience know where they can find you on social media?
Okay, my social media, Instagram and Facebook, I'm Danie Dharma, DANIE DHARMA. And on TikTok, I'm Destroyer Dharma.
Nice, the Destroyer Dharma. So thank you, the Destroyer, for your time here and all the best for your future events.
Thank you also, guys. Thank you for having me on board. I'm very happy to talk to you guys.